Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Hobson and I'm the Content Insights Specialist at Envato. A large portion of my days are spent looking at our internal search and sales data, as well as looking at trends externally in order to ensure that our marketplaces contain the types of content that your customers want. From time to time, this can result in the creation of new categories of products. However, often we identify in-demand trends relating to specific industries and niches that are being applied effectively and creatively within our existing category offerings. I'd like to take some time today to discuss some key demand trends that we are seeing from your customers in the graphic design space. These trends are really important so that you can ensure that you are spending your time developing content that your customers want. These are trends we've identified from either rapidly increasing search terms relating to these topics or alternatively, items within specific niches that have been selling really well. The trends that I'm going to discuss today aren't an exhaustive list. These aren't the only things that you should be trying to create. However, I hope they will be really helpful for you to keep in mind as you think about what content you would like to create next. We're going to touch on 5 key areas today. In order for you to get the most value out of this session as possible, I wanted to highlight some industry-wide trends that we're seeing. These are trends that we've seen internally that are backed up by many industry articles that get published throughout the year. I will briefly look at the major way people search for content on our platforms. This could influence how you tag your items. I will have a look at what types of content are in demand. We'll highlight some interesting demand trends, and we'll explore some key opportunities that exist for graphics on our marketplaces. As I mentioned, I'd like to highlight a few different themes that seem to be popular with customers on our platforms and the industry as a whole. Content created that aligns with these themes will likely generate good income for you, not just here, but also elsewhere in the industry if you distribute your content on other platforms. The first one of these is around eras. As every new year rolls around, we see lots of industry articles claiming that a different decade is in vogue or making a comeback. The most common themes that we've been seeing demand here is content related to the 1980s, but also I think as we're in 2020, the 1920s have been making a comeback. When we're looking at the 1920s, graphic templates with Art Deco styling have been in demand. As well as searches for the colour gold, which is a very common colour associated with Art Deco. If we're looking at the 1980s, things such as retro fonts, images of old technology such as VCRs, tube TVs, cassette players are in demand. In fact, 80s influences have been so popular that there are 2 specific areas that I wanted to give their own focus. And they are neon and cyberpunk. These were 2 very big trends of the 80s. And definitely very, very popular on Envato at the moment and the wider industry as a whole. Neon styling, we've been seeing it being popular in graphic templates, such as these Facebook templates that you can see here. Neon has also been creatively incorporated in Photoshop add-ons, neon backgrounds, and neon fonts in really successful ways. Cyberpunk, also very popular in the 80s and incredibly popular across Envato at the moment, and not just within graphic design item types. As you can tell, cyberpunk imagery is closely related to neon, given these images often use neon colour schemes against a darker backdrop. There appears to be a lot of demand around imagery relating to nature and environmentalism within the industry, and this isn't surprising. Nature has always been an evergreen area of demand within the stock industry. Some popular niches around this at the moment focus on recycling, climate change, and a little further afield, even space and space exploration. 2 other areas that we've been seeing a lot of demand for in the wider industry are around activism and also the ageing demographic. Forms of activism are being discussed constantly in the media, and as such, we and others are seeing demand for content around citizen activism. From a graphics standpoint, this could be flyers for a public protest, information brochures communicating a cause, or, as you can see here, design packs ready for use in banners, posters, social media templates, whatever else that you could possibly imagine. There's also demand for imagery relating to the ageing demographic. in particular depicting them in more realistic, modern ways, so as older citizens who are enjoying their retirement and not necessarily as a generation that is slowing down or needing help. Finally, we have two other trends that we're seeing demand for here in Envato, as well as in the wider industry, and they are around inclusive imagery and mental health awareness. When we're talking about inclusivity, it's all around an increase in demand for imagery that illustrates an inclusive, diverse, and authentic society. Customers are wanting to see inclusivity imagery around areas such as bodies, gender, orientation, and race. In regards to mental health awareness, this has also been a very big theme. We've been seeing demand for search terms such as depression, mental health, and anxiety. Before we jump into some internal demand trends that we see for graphic design content here at Envato, I'd like to talk briefly about how people search for content on our shop fronts. In this instance, I'm not talking about the user flow that a customer may follow, for example, what filters or facets they may click on to refine their search. Instead, I wanted to highlight the language that we see our customers using when searching for content. This is really helpful to keep in mind when you're thinking about content and not just what types of items to create, but also how to market them. So when customers are searching for content on our shop fronts, they can obviously use thousands upon thousands of different types of search terms. However, we find that they can be broadly classified into 15 major ways that people search for content. The major classifications that are relevant for graphic design are people searching for an associated technology that they are working with. For example, their search term may include keywords such as Photoshop or Sketch or Procreate. These types of searches are really popular when people are looking for graphic add-ons, so thinking things such as Photoshop actions here. Searches within this technology or platform classification can also relate to content for web platforms, so you may have keywords here relating to things like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Searching for the specific product or production that they are trying to create. This is really popular within graphic templates. When people are searching for a specific product or production, they're often using terms such as resume or business card or mock-up. Searching for specific industries or niches. For example, people may be searching for content relating to real estate or construction industries, so their keywords would include real estate or construction. This is the most popular type of search for presentation templates. However, industry is also really important when people are searching for graphics and graphic templates, and we'll see why shortly. And finally, searching for specific subjects. So this is searching for a specific person or a place or an object. Basically, it's the search for the primary subject of an image, and it can be really broad. It can be anything from coffee cup to the beach. And this is the most popular way that people search for graphics content on our shop front. So these search classifications are really important to keep in mind when creating your item tags, ensuring that your tags adequately describe your item's features, technology, and industries when relevant, to ensure that your products are discovered by the customers who want to find them and license them. So, with these popular search classifications clarified, let's have a look at some of the key search terms people are using across our sites when looking for these areas of content. So now that we know searches with keywords relating to specific industries are important, what are the most popular industries that people are searching for? Well, over the last year, these 5 industries here have been experiencing the most search sessions within the graphic design space here at Envato. They are education, marketing and advertising, health and medical, weddings, and real estate and construction. Granted, these are very broad industries. However, they're not only popular at the moment, they tend to be consistently in demand. It's well worth investing some time to research these industries and see, are there any specific niche businesses or trends within them that are gaining popularity within that industry? It's a great way to ensure that your items are both unique and in demand. A great example we're seeing at the moment within the education industry is around e-learning. We're seeing a huge increase in demand for content relating to e-learning, and this is likely due to the various stay-at-home measures that have been put in place around the world due to COVID-19. So I won't dwell on this slide for long. You'll be able to refer back to a recording of this presentation if you'd like to. However, I've outlined some key terms that customers are searching for within each of those broader industries, and I hope that this provides some additional inspiration for you around what sort of content you could create for these industries. These are terms that may be getting a lot of search sessions in recent times. They may have grown significantly in demand over the last year, or they may just be currently trending over the most recent month on our platforms. Product and production related searches, or people searching for a specific type of end use or project, is the number one way that people are looking for content within the graphic template space. And these are the top 5 types of productions that our customers are searching for. They're wanting to make business cards, logos, flyers, brochures, or resumes. We've actually seen recently on Elements that some of our more successful items have been bundling 2 or 3 of these different product types available within the one item. This is really fantastic for the customer as it enables them to create, for example, a business card and a flyer with consistent branding and theming. As before, in order to provide some additional inspiration, I've included some associated terms for each of these features. Interestingly, you can see there are some common themes for each type of production here. For example, when people are searching for business cards, they may also want to specify the style that they want. That is modern, elegant, or clean. For brochures, people are after certain features. And within resumes, it's really around the technologies that people want to create their resume in. Bearing in mind Microsoft Word there is the most popular. If you're after additional information around what sort of products to make, you can always pair these production type searches with the key industries that we've discussed previously for more inspiration. Mockups have also been and always been a really popular type of product or production related search on Graphic River and now on Elements. This is the list of the top 10 types of mockups that people are searching for. Technology related mockups, things like iPhone and MacBook, are great options for designers as there's always an opportunity to create new content that is reflective of the new models that seem to get released year after year. As we have seen, searches for specific technologies or web and software platforms are really popular for both graphic add-ons when we're looking at technologies and also graphic templates, especially for things around social media platforms. This becomes really apparent when you look at the top 5 search terms within this classification, and they are Photoshop Action, Instagram, InDesign, Facebook, and YouTube. As you can see, there are a few social media platforms in the top 5 there. Customers are always looking to create templates across all of these platforms and more. So it's important to create a cohesive set of templates that will work for all major social media platforms. And again, to provide some additional inspiration, here are some more commonly used related searches to these top 5 keywords. We're starting to get towards the end of the session now. However, I wanted to highlight a few more interesting trends that we have been seeing internally. When I'm analysing our search data and looking at what search terms have been trending, I'll often see lots of search terms that are closely related to a particular theme or trend. I'd like to touch on a few of these now. Namely, we're seeing live streaming content continue to be in demand. Apparently the live streaming platform Twitch has seen a large increase in viewership since the world started quarantining. Our internal search data has certainly followed this trend. For us, our trend around esports all started with esports logos. However, we're now seeing that trend a little more widely in terms of live streaming, and Twitch overlays are in demand. Basically, a Twitch overlay is a design consisting of a variety of graphics that are overlaid on your gameplay footage during a stream. Common examples include things like webcam frames, bar or ticker overlays, stream alerts, and more. Secondly, the popular digital illustration app Procreate has been getting a lot of attention through our search data lately. Customers are searching for Procreate brushes that they can add to the app. In fact, Procreate has been one of our highest trending terms within the graphic add-on space. We've also been seeing demand for imagery relating to space. Potentially, as SpaceX and NASA have been in the news a lot in recent times, it's ignited people's imaginations and dreams of space travel. As such, we've been seeing search terms such as outer space, galaxy, and astronaut had a lot of growth, and they've also been performing well in terms of items licensed. We've also been seeing demand around images depicting the awesome power of nature. I mentioned at the start of this session that nature was an industry-wide trend, and this is one of the ways that we're seeing that take shape. I think as there's been more 1 in 100-year weather events around the year, again, this is in people's consciousness. Think terms such as lightning and hurricane here. And another aspect around nature is the trend of sustainability. This is all about the human impact on the environment and showing not only the negative causes, but also the hopeful solutions. This last section will have a look at some of the current hot opportunities across many of our key graphic item types that exist on Envato. There is a lot of data on these slides. However, you will be able to review these at your own pace if you rewatch the recording. So don't worry if I move through them a little fast. So there's a lot of content on these charts, so I'm going to break it down a little bit for you here before we go through it. Each dot on the chart represents a search term. This chart then uses 3 key measures to help you highlight some current opportunities for you. Namely, are these search terms trending? And if so, by how much? The further a term is to the right of the chart, the higher that search term has been trending in recent months. We also need to know how many search sessions per month does a search term get. And this is reflected in the bubble size. The bigger the bubble, the more search sessions that term gets in any given month. Finally, is there a lot of this content already available through Envato? The higher up the chart that this search term is, the more content already exists on the platform, or the more competitive it is for licenses for that sort of content. Weighing up these 3 data points will help you determine how much of an opportunity you believe there is in creating content that aligns with these search terms. And these search terms here are all focused around graphic templates. The key opportunities for graphic templates at the moment are heavily focused around seasonal events. As this is August data, we can see that there's a lot of demand for content around India's Independence Day. There are also some emerging sort of key year-round emerging trends within here. Many of these we've touched on today, such as Twitch and Instagram related terms. There are many more here that you can explore for yourself. Looking at the same information just for graphics, we can see that there is a strong overlap between key opportunities for graphic templates and graphics. Current seasonal events are a big opportunity. So it certainly pays to do some research into key seasonal events and holidays around the world and ensure that you have content that is suitable for the most popular periods. Within fonts, we see that there are opportunities for fonts that aren't based on the Latin alphabet, with terms such as Arabic, Japan, and Cyrillic trending. In addition, there appears to be opportunities around fonts with specific styles, things such as neon, graffiti, and glitch. Moving on to presentation templates, we can see that searches for 3D infographic presentations are trending a lot over the latest month. And we don't currently have a lot of content that fits this search term. However, there are also a vast range of other opportunities and industries here worth pursuing. Finally, looking at graphic add-ons, we can see there are fewer opportunities overall. We see terms such as photo effect and sketch effect likely relate to the ever popular Photoshop actions. We can also see a big opportunity relating to Procreate and Procreate brushes, which I've touched on earlier. Before I go, I just wanted to give a quick reminder to all you Elements authors out there that if you found this information useful, you can access a heap of insights at beta.author.envato.com. We have stats on top search terms, content opportunities, as well as personalized information on your item's performance, as well as your bonus eligibility. So head on over and enjoy. Thank you all for your time. I hope that this has provided you with some inspiration around some of the key areas we and the wider industry are seeing growth, both in terms of search demand and licensing. And I really hope that these translate to strong earning opportunities for you all. Thanks again.